to another episode of Covenant Chronicles. You already know. Go Bonner checking in this bitch. And who else do we got here, man? Who else do we have?
We got Prophet around.
We got Prophet. We got who?
We got a Rose around.
We got Sir Arose.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we have lovely young ladies. We had to give them a grand introduction. So why don't you start? We don't share mics.
Alright, hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl Il Goddess.
Hey.
And yeah, y'all gonna hear what's on my brain tonight.
Hey, she said yeah.
What's up, y'all? Peace. It's Ginger. Vibing, rocking, flowing, as always.
Hey.
Being.
Hey, let's go. And don't, you know what I'm saying? You got that mic, feel free to rock out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, my first question, Ginger, do you be snapping?
It depends on what you call snapping.
Good question. My mom is a Libra and my dad is a Libra. So, they be snapping. My mom be snapping.
I be snapping. Sometimes I do a little bit of rapping.
Hey, let's go. All right,
Real
man.
shit, we don't do a lot of capping.
Hey, not at all. All right, cool. So,
I mean, a little something, I keep it peaceful, but you don't want to see the snap or the fire. Just keep it,
Okay.
at a low desire.
absolutely.
Spicy.
You got a vocabulary.
Hey.
All right, so matter of fact, while we on you, talk about what you do, your brand and all of that.
I have a brand, a business that I'm working on to build, to grow, called Nets Naturals, where I just make natural products, hair masks, oils, natural juices. That's popping a little bit right now,
Hey, bet.
I'm an artist in general, creative. I like to say artist, but because I'm just speaking about just in general on multiple things that I just enjoy doing. A little bit of music up in there.
Okay. All right, cool. And El Goddess. Yeah. I'm be doing that all night.
So, me, I'm a very multifaceted person. I model, I creative direct, I do photography. All in all, I would say that I am a creative vessel and I eat, live, breathe creativity. So whether that's through music as a medium, writing as a medium, how I dress as a medium, anything creative, me expressing myself truly and authentically, that's what I am.
And I gotta follow up. How do you eat creativity?
I look at it as like an investment in self. So eating metaphorically is me taking out the time to like doodle or paint or write and read what I write or like speak my manifestations or connect with my friends, like come together. The meal is us sharing our creativity, sharing our ideas, seeing how we can execute them. That's what eating the art means to me.
So consuming. Got you. Okay.
More so investing, I heard. Like investing your time. I like to teach people to invest your time instead of just spending it. Because like if you spend your time, you just giving it out. Like basically you wasting time essentially. But if you invest your time, you get a good return on that.
That reminds me of Think and Grow Rich when Napoleon Hill says young men sow their wild oats and just waste their quote unquote their sperm. You follow me?
Yeah.
Because we talked about on prior episodes semen retention. So, you can't just be wasting that good life and energy. You got to save it and invest it into the right person so that it comes back with a proper return on investment. So, yeah, man. Told y'all we talk about ratchet shit in an intellectual way here. You feel me?
She was like, so I like how she was talking about her like
Is it ratchet
tools for this spiritual warfare. I know we getting into spiritual warfare later, but that's a tool. Like to get there.
But is it ratchet or divine?
You tell me, Lady Libra.
Everything's divine. Nothing's coincidental. Everything in divine order. So even the most ratchet of the ratchetest shit is divine. You know what I mean? There's a polarity to everything. You know what I mean? Life is divine in general.
Yeah.
I love that term polarity. Okay, so let's get into this first topic. You mentioned it, spiritual warfare. So this is actually El Goddess over here. She came up with this topic because have you been fighting a spiritual warfare?
I mean, I feel like to a degree, whether people are cognizant of it or not, we're all in a war right now with spiritual warfare. It's a battle between life and death, or how we see it, good and evil. Um, I can go on about this for hours, and I think that it starts with our youth. There's an attack on youth. If you can start with the contamination with the young ones, starting them from young, with like negative music that they're listening to, or just like certain things that they're involved in, these demons, these unseen things that are going on, like it's for life or for death. Like we all battling demons or darkness, but I know that light is going to prevail.
As it always do. We ain't never gonna heal.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, I love where this is going already. I'm excited. I'm a true sapiosexual. I'm not one of them motherfuckers that be faking and act like, oh, I'm a sapiosexual. No, motherfucker. I
Sapiosexual.
really appreciate this type of conversation. So, all right, let's get into it. Sir Paris,
What's up?
Sir Prophet. Now, what spiritual warfare do you feel like our culture has been fighting? She mentioned music. What else do you feel like is suppressing our society?
Well, I feel like we're always in spiritual warfare in general, individually and as a collective. So, when we talk about fighting between life and death, the moment we're born, we're dying. So it's a constant battle our whole entire existence. And it's not just literal life and death as far as our physicality or whatever expiring, but in everything that we do. So when we talk about the music being low vibrational and negatively impacting the youth and even anyone who's exposed to it, we're actually exposing ourselves to death, and that's why we reap what we sow. We're taking all this in, and it negatively impacts people on a large scale, and then it becomes warfare out in general, like in the physical sense. So everything comes from the etheric realm, or the sense of nothingness, and actually becomes something. So we fight in spiritual warfare in every aspect of our life, from what we consume as far as eating, everything, bro.
So, quick question. You mentioned etheric. Does that have anything to do with Ethereum?
Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all that, cryptocurrency. No, I don't. I mean, I'm undereducated as far as Ethereum is concerned, but I mean just like the energy in general, the balance between something being so-called intangible, or all right, intangible, but the in between, the determining factor as to what's going to come into existence from a thought to a thing.
The Phantom Zone. We could just call it the Phantom Zone because it sounds cool. All right. So, Lady Libra, Ginger. I'm sorry. Ginger be snapping. Don't snap on me.
She's a ginger snap.
Ginger
So
snap.
to keep it between us, we gonna keep it.
I'm sorry. Listen, we big on Zodiac. We big on a lot of stuff. So I don't know if y'all ever heard about cards, but we could talk about that a whole nother time. As far as spiritual warfare,
Tarot cards?
no,
No, it's like cardology.
Yeah.
cardology. You know,
Like
playing
the
cards,
Zodiac,
like
the
Deuce,
Zodiac.
Queen, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So cards initially weren't created for a game.
Right.
They were created to represent different personalities.
Right.
So
Basically,
I
the
like
tarot,
those.
in a
That's
sense, as well, it's like cardomancy, where they had to hide it in games, so that, it would be, so that they wouldn't lose the art. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's a hidden art.
I know we're on spiritual warfare, but I seen your logo for Tuno, and it's a card. Is there something in relation to that as well?
Yeah. So the Tano logo, it's like a club and a diamond, and the 2 members in the group. Well, 3 members in the group are 2 of them are clubs, and me, I'm a diamond, and so that's really what the symbolism of it is, and it's like
Yeah.
talking about the card stuff and the personalities and all that. So I could go into it, but it's
I
lot.
took the liberty
It
of
is.
looking
It's
up your
not-
card,
I
by the way. January 5th. These are your cards, just to let you know.
Oh, your birthday January 5th?
Are those
Somebody
good
else with that
cards?
birthday, too.
Those are
good
part-
cards.
I think she would like a live reading. Should we give her a live reading right
Go
here
ahead.
on Covenant
Put me on the
Chronicles?
stick. I would definitely want to see what that's about.
All right, so let's break it down, guys.
Segue.
So her birthday is January 5th. Yes, she is a Capricorn, but her birth card is a 9 of spade.
9 of spades.
9 of spade. Clap it up for the 9 of spades, everyone. All right, so nines, similar to my fine brother over here, he's a 9 of diamond, you're a 9 of spade. 9 symbolize completion. All right, so you have achieved a lot in past lives and past realms in the Phantom Zone. All right. So, number one, would like to congratulate you. Also, there are 4 different suites. I keep calling them suites. Suits. 4 different suits. So, I am a club. I am a 10 of club. All right. He is a 9 of diamonds. He is a queen of heart. And you are a 9 of spade. So, he would be the infant of it. The hearts are the infants. They are the lovers. They're the human resources. They have unconditional love. They're nurturing. They can also be emotional. So sometimes they can kind of go off the deep end. All right. So there's pros and cons. Like he said, polarity. There's pros and cons to everything. All right. Up next would be the club. I would be like the 7-year-olds. All right. So the clubs are the creative, the communicators, a lot of people with my cards. This is how I know I need to continue doing music. Nicki Minaj, Sagittarius 10 of club. Big Pun and Eve, Scorpio 10 of clubs. Young Thug, Leo 10 of clubs. All extremely creative in their own way, in their own realms. All right. Sir Tony, he's a diamond. He would come next. He would be the adult years. He would be the age that we are currently right now. All right. You can see Tone is a little more chill, a little more laid back. 21 and up. Mr. Rose here. Now, diamonds represent a couple things. Number one, they understand the material realm very well. All right, so they understand the material realm. They understand how to make and generate money, but it's deeper than that. They understand values. All right, so that is the key things. I feel like hearts show unconditional love. Diamonds, they have a value meter. And, diamonds, I'm very close with diamonds. All right, now spades.
Work.
Spades are the workers. All right, you guys have the wisdom. You guys complete the cycle before it restarts again. If you notice, the spade is basically an upside down acorn, which is what? A seed.
So it's life and death. It's the spade, like a spade shovel. You dig dirt to, bury somebody. So it's both things.
Exactly. And with you being a Capricorn on top of that, which is close to the end of the cycle during the season of assessment, you're able to look at things done and then you're able to recycle it and make it better. All right. So that is why you have the 9. We are all connected here. Also, that is your birth card. As you see, you do have a spread here. I'm going to just run through these next ones. Your planetary roller card is a 4 of club. So you see yourself as a creative. You see yourself, but also 4s represent stability. So you need to be stable in order to feel at self. All right. Finally, your decadent is kind of, I say your decadent. So say if this is your main firearm in the military, this is your secondary weapon. I call these like your little pistols. So your decadent is a little small piece of your personality that comes out here and there. All right. So you can be a king of heart at times, which is beautiful because your karma card, which is extremely important. Your karma card is who you need to master in order to fully become yourself. All right. So your karma card is also a king of heart, which is a blessing because you already have some of that in you. All right. And then finally, your karma cousin, that's like a helper card. So someone owes you a debt from a past life. Basically, in your past life, you kind of owe a debt to a king of heart. This life, a 6 of spade owes you a debt. All right. When's your birthday?
She said this is confidential.
Right.
I I said figure it out.
Oh snap! Well, she's a
Yes.
Libra. We could get back to spiritual warfare, but just wanted to give you all a brief breakdown on cardology. How do you feel like that was?
I feel like it definitely gave me a deeper insight to myself. I mean, as anyone that's taking in new information is something that I have to research and look more into to make a more firm opinion on how I feel about it. But
It might freak you out.
you really do learn something new every day. So like this is just more knowledge for me to like take and build upon because I'm into life path numbers and numerology, and I kind of feel like this is like a new level unlocked where I'm getting to like I've been yearning to like know more about myself and dive deeper into depths, and I feel like this is like another door that has just been opened, another portal that I'm gonna have to like ease in there real slowly because I'm like, oh, I thought I knew myself, but it's like, dang, like it's another layer.
It's a never-ending journey.
Yeah.
Facts.
I will
Right.
share though that I am an 8 of hearts though.
Oh, she
Okay,
knows.
she
Let's
knows.
go.
Yeah.
She
Yo.
knows though.
Oh yeah.
So
She
that-
knows, she knows, she knows.
So notice that you guys are next to each other. You're an 8 and you're a 9. All right. So like those connect. Me and him are very close.
Why we
He's-
can't connect.
Right, because we were like
supposed to,
fizzle, but we
like,
always like it's so strange because
run into
even
each
how
other,
we
weirdest
met,
places.
but like even how like she ended up here with me, because like I told you I was like, nah, I think it's like a little too last minute to pull somebody on board, but something was just like, nah, like hit her up, like I don't know why, but it was like hit Ginger, like out of all people, hit Ginger, and like on a whim, like nothing, like she was here, but lately we've just been connecting on like astronomical levels. It's like,
Right.
like what's going on?
Right.
How did you know you was an 8 of heart?
I got, I got some resources that let me know certain things, put me
Okay.
on,
Hey.
you know.
Libras are so secretive to me.
Huh? Say that one more time.
Libras
I
are
like the word.
What you said?
Secretive.
Sneakers.
That should be a new
I
word.
like to say
Sneakative.
mysterious.
That's funny.
Sneakrative. Okay, that's probably why I was called. You so damn sneaky growing up.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
he said, like, nah, I
You
don't know.
don't
I'm
reveal
just
everything
being
up front.
See,
right, and I'm just being
but
when I'm more
Libras,
comfortable,
y'all balanced. So
I'm
it's like,
talking about woohoo.
Yeah, I feel like all the end signs kind of got that. Like starting from like Virgo to like Sag, I feel like they all kind of are like the same low key.
They get darker
Like
and darker.
yeah, they all are like the same kind of like in a way like I don't know, I can't describe it. Like every Libra, Scorpio, Sag, and Virgo, I see like a big similarity. Like they all like are calm, you know what I'm saying, and like it's like they can snap, but
It's the
they,
balance,
you know what I'm saying,
baby.
and like it's like I don't know, man. We just all super similar.
It's the
Like
scale, honey. It's the
like it's like a
scale.
little bit of shady in there, but like it's, you know what I'm saying. It's I don't know.
it's what might be
I don't
perceived
know.
as shady, but
I don't
it's
know.
certain things that we have to do to protect ourselves and to
Right.
protect others sometimes. So I feel like the Libras just bring that balance because everything ain't for everybody, and sometimes when you know too much, it can harm you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't know everything, especially about them. You know what I mean?
It's the scale. Are you light or are you going to hell?
You got the bars. I like
Time
that.
will tell.
Only time will tell.
That's the
Hey.
key.
Okay. All right, cool. So shout out to y'all though for you know what I'm saying, like staying connected, listening to the higher power, staying connected. You know what I'm saying? Like me and this brother, like his secondary is a tennis club. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned a lot. I'm a tennis club, but I learned so much from him. I call him sensei. That's big bro. You know what I'm saying? He's a 9 of diamonds. His transformation card is a tennis club. I feel a sense to, you know what I'm saying, help my bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and we are connected. So yeah, man. So shout out to us for listening to the energies
Right.
at
I
B.
like that.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you for, you know what I'm saying, because we done rescheduled a couple times and whatnot.
Right, exactly. But it all aligns when it's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything happens the way it's supposed to, because, as I mentioned before, like, what are the odds that I got locked out of my apartment? Like, still, like, it's even bothering me the fact that it happened, because, like, that just don't happen. Just, like, out of all days, like, when I had something important to do, like, being here, like, that would happen. But I was just, like, be calm.
Still here early.
Right, because being on time is a really big thing to me. Like, being black and professional and on time, I'm not on that CPT stuff.
No.
It's that spade.
But
shit.
like I get
I
get anxiety like if I'm gonna be late, and if I feel like I'm gonna be late, I'm gonna be like, oh, I might be late, but usually I still put like 10 minutes before time. So that's the thing. But like even though today like I felt like the devil was trying to like do some like fishy stuff, like I could have been like, hey, like I got locked out of my apartment, I won't be able to make it. But I was like, where there's a will, there's a way. And it's just even crazy like how I even got the resource to get my door open. Even that was like angelic in itself. So everything happens for a reason.
Amen. So let's circle back to the spiritual warfare, because we winning right now. We winning this battle. Fuck they talking about. You know what I'm saying? So who do you feel like we are fighting against? Because clearly we are the Power Rangers. Clearly we are winning this motherfucker. Who is our Queen Rita and all of that? I don't even know who else they be fighting, but
What Kanye say?
a lot.
Yeah.
What you say?
Them damn.
The others?
Them
Oh.
damn.
Them that we not gonna say.
The others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them. Y'all know who y'all is.
Next year.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel like
For the most part, it's a lot of different entities. I feel like
The
we can't really just blame this
Right.
on. I'm gonna say a Jews. We can't just blame it on them. But for the most part, when it comes down to certain shit like the media, that fucking controls what everybody sees, that's a problem in and by itself. That's owned by the Jews. But like at the end of the day, it's a whole bunch of different entities that plays in with the spiritual war that everybody goes on with.
How do you feel about the statement he just made?
I agree. It's a bunch of different energies. I agree. It's a bunch of different energies that play a part. It's not just one. If this is a multi-dimensional universe, then it has to be. It just makes sense in my brain. That is more than just. It's more than one energy that plays a part. Do we truly know why and their actual motive? I'm not sure. We can say control. We can say just to like steal our energy so that we never return back to, our true selves. It is multiple. I feel like it's multiple reasons why, and we might not truly know the true answer.
I got the answer, Sway.
I was about to say, I'm pretty
I
sure.
got the answer.
Pretty sure the answer is kind of. It's not. I wouldn't say it's clear, but
It is clear at the end of the day.
It's definitely definitely
So, like I said earlier,
the
we
caucus.
fight
It's like that.
external, enemies, but the main enemy in my life has been the inner me, right? So, in my journey of pursuing the knowledge of self and just navigating through this life, yeah, I've had external enemies, but the more I build myself, the more those enemies don't have no power against me. You know what I mean? I feel like applied knowledge is power. So the more I learned and I didn't apply, the more I was impacted by my decisions in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? But the more I learned and I did apply, the more the weapons formed against me couldn't prosper. Now, obviously, that big ass monster that we face, right? And you mentioned us being the Power Rangers. Me trying to click up with my gang and get us on one accord so we could become the Megazord, it hasn't been the most effective thing. You know what I mean? Especially when you the one, like you said, big bro, sensei. I got the knowledge and the experience and the wherewithal to be able to shed light on niggas and help them elevate themselves. But with me doing that, a lot of times I just remained where I was at. So my point is, it's about elevating self, because as each person elevates themselves, we can all elevate as a collective. But the problem is, it's easier to do nut shit than it is to do the good shit. So we just deviate from what we supposed to do, and that's why we suffer from what we suffer from. Is we all know better, but we just choose not to do better on average. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for the most part.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
What's your thoughts?
So what is the
all question that we're like getting at or like pushing at.
Yeah, we tend to do that.
Yeah, no,
We
as we
we
should.
tend to do that. So the initial question was, who are we fighting spiritual warfare against? So Tone mentioned that there are certain powers that it could be coming from. Sir Prophet mentioned that we are that inner thing. Ginger mentioned that we're being attacked by multiple things. So what do you, who Kanye West said in his recent rant, he said all I said was for years we've been talking about they trying to hold us back. DJ Khaled, they don't want us to have a bigger pool than Kanye. You know what I'm saying? They don't want us to win. They holding us back. They suppressing the black man. Who is they? Kanye feel as though he identified his they. Who do you feel like they are?
Well, first off, I just want to like put this out there, like when we're talking about spiritual warfare in my eyes or my perspective, because this is my experience. Like we all have different experiences, but spiritual warfare is the spirit. So these attackers, we can't see physically, like it's a spiritual thing. So, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer in Christ, and I have no qualms about saying that. So, when I do say that, I know people might think like, "Oh, she's trying to convert people." Like, no, that's not my goal. Like, that's just my personal experience, belief, and things that I've seen like done for me. So, when I hear spiritual warfare, it's like literally life and death. Like, there is like satanic things going on. Like, if we look around us, like it's so much death going on, and maybe it's always been going on, but like simple things like kids are killing their parents, kids are killing their teachers, like it's just like pure evil, volatile things. So I feel like it's like a spirit of death just like kind of moving around, and these spirits and things can use people, and we can open ourselves up to certain things, whether that's through like sexual experiences with people, defiling like our body in certain ways, or like what we eat, what we drink, what we read, what we listen to. They're all different ways that these spiritual beings and things can use as mediums to get into people. So for my personal spiritual like beliefs is like Satan has his agenda, which is to pretty much bring mass destruction, Armageddon, and be the ruler of this earth. And then there's light, and then there's God, who is like, trying to also, or is using people as light to counteract these demonic forces that can come through anything, literally anything. So, yeah.
And them demonic forces are the people that we get food stamps from.
So those
The
that
Democrats.
govern our mental, basically. If it's a
Basically.
one-word answer as to who we're fighting spiritually, is those people that govern our mental, basically the government in every aspect. You know what I mean?
Literally.
But that's
every
why we have to
aspect.
govern our own mental. When we speak about devils or demons or whatever, the devil, DEV, is to deviate. Like I said, we're supposed to be elevating, but we choose to deviate. When we speak about spirits, we go to wine and spirits and then consume things that alter our natural behavior.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So we do it to ourselves.
Correct.
You know what I mean? But it's promoted. You know what I mean? We sit here and pop bottles and all that, all the rap talk about it and all that. We go out, turn up, twerk, and do whatever else while we sitting there in this low vibrational energy, defile ourselves by having we fornicating and shit like that, you know what I mean, that we ain't supposed to be doing. Now we got broken families. We doing it to ourselves. So those who are enlightened and that can shed light on people to help wake them up, we need way more of those, you know what I mean?
What it sounds like you're saying is what Kanye West said years ago and got a lot of backlash for, is that we chose to be enslaved. Is
Pretty
that what
much.
you're saying?
Yes, because we're
Okay.
vanity slaves, as he also said. We're slaves to our vanity. We're very vain, and we care about how people see us as opposed to how we see ourselves and how God sees us. As like for real, we really supposedly care about that. You know what I mean? So when we care about how God sees us, just like Jesus told us in John 10:34, that you shall do things greater than I. For ye are God's too. Like, I don't know why y'all hating on me and all that, because I'm telling y'all, I'm the son of God, but y'all God's too. If you God's children, you are basically a God as well. You know what I'm saying? So why are you choosing to be a devil? We run around doing devilish shit and think that it's cool. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah.
And people seem to forget that like we have free will. Like that's one thing that like we've all been given, like the freedom to choose, or we can choose like life or death. Like there's no one cracking a whip on us saying like don't have sex with this person or this many people or don't do this and don't do that. Like that's the great thing about being human. We have the will to do this or do that, but it's just like there's consequences for anything and everything, and we can't be mad at the consequences of certain decisions that we make because there's consequences for literally everything that you do.
And I feel like it's the way that we do things, like some of the things that we do nowadays that we may have been doing in the older times. Nowadays it was different than the meaning, the reason behind it. Like the twerking, for instance, it was not for the reasons that they do it nowadays. Like it's the energy the energy that they carry behind when they're doing it.
Yeah, I've
So
gone to
it can-
churches where the women
Yeah.
we would see it as twerking, but like in African churches and
healing.
African cultures, like the women would be twerking, but that's like their form of worship.
Releasing trauma is the same thing as just letting go of, like, what do they call it when you just like releasing everything, purging? It's like it's like that. It's the same thing as that. So I feel like, and I know just from watching everything and my experience in general, because I'm one that like twerking, but my reasoning for it and the way that I want to put it out there is not the way that they putting it out today, and that's the reason why I don't. Kind of the reason why I don't put it out. So
You don't twerk to seduce. You twerk to what?
no, to feel good within myself. Like it truly makes me feel good. Like we are healing and we growing and we want to be more conscious, and to do that you must do things that make you feel good. That is one thing that makes me truly feel good, not because this nigga is looking at me, not because I might reel him in if I shake my ass a little bit. No, just because it truly makes me feel good, and when I'm done it's like I was high. Like
I love that.
With that said, everything is vibrational. So it's about the intention. So yeah, we have people twerking for, spiritual or cultural type of reasons, but then it depends on what culture you in. Over here in Western society, we go to the club and we shake our ass and whatever. For the most part, it is for, the onlookers to be like, damn. That's why people getting BBLs and whatever else, so that you can see this big fat ass shaking and all that. And it's like, it's not even a real butt, but okay. You know what I mean?
So
Like you drunk.
so what you're saying is something positive is flipped towards something negative.